Welcome back to the office. Closet office. I'm your host, Nathan Rouget, and this is my little news report for the BUFL. Today is quickly what we're going to go down with in this video is playoff scenarios, clinching scenarios, and power rankings heading into the final week of the regular season. I'm sorry, there has been not many videos on this. Expect a lot more for season 3, which announcement season 3 is starting right after season 2 because we have seniors. I'm a senior, so we want more time to go through this season. First up, we will do playoff clinching scenarios. First, blue. I'll hold up blue when I'm talking about. I'll hold the color when I'm talking about them. I have all the colors here. So, blue. This is the Arrows. The Arrows are the first team to clinch anything. They clinched the number 1 seed, and what I mean by our number 1 seed, I mean this is how the playoffs are working because we have 4 teams. The playoff system needed to be changed so the regular season would matter. And the playoff situation got changed from instead of 2 sides of bracket, it's one whole big bracket. The best team overall in the league gets the number 1 seed and the first round bye. Not only the first round bye, but a second round bye too. They're immediately in the championship game. And your Arrows have clinched that. They're immediately in the championship game no matter what happens this week against the Terrapins. Now, the second seed is the other division winner. So the divisions are still going to matter. Just, it's Serpents and Hydras battling for it. I'll touch more about what happens if which each team wins later in the show, but the 2 seed is the winner of the other division, and the 2 teams that don't win the division, right now the Terrapins are locked in there. The Terrapins, since they're the second best team overall, but they're second best in their division, they get a home playoff spot. They get to choose the Frisbee, the home field, the date, time, everything. The other team has to make sure they can make it. And that's just something to benefit the home team because they still had a great season. And the last place team out of all the other teams is on the road for that game and gets to call it a coin toss. That's basically it. Your worst, you're gonna get the worst home field advantage. But the second seed is getting a first round bye. So it'll go 3 seed versus 4 seed. Winner faces 2 seed, winner faces 1 seed. And the Arrows, my team, Maxwell Underwood, the captain, has clinched that playoff spot. All right. Moving on to who's going to be the second seed. As you see, I'm picking up 2 colors here. It's a battle. All right. Going into this game, each team has 1 win. Yeah. The Serpents beat the Hydras earlier in the season to get their first franchise win. So congratulations to them and Captain Luis Gutierrez for their first franchise win. But now we're heading into a game where the Hydras hadn't won any before that Serpents game. After that Serpents game, they played the Terrapins in a weird situation. It ended as a 2v2, but it started as a 3v3. And the Hydras won that game after coming back down 5-2 in the 4th quarter and winning 9-7 after overtime. So that's your scenario. If the Serpents win, they get a first round bye. If the Hydras win, they get the first round bye. And whoever loses goes on the road to the Terrapins. So with that said, this matchup means a lot because whoever loses also gets the number 1 overall pick. But whoever wins gets a first round bye and doesn't have to play an extra game. And that extra game is going to be on the same day. So it's going to be like one playoff game, big break, the other playoff game. Benefit of getting the first round bye. And then the Super Bowl and the Pro Bowl will be on the same day but a different day. So that's your scenario with these two. Who wins it? I don't know. All right. Let's talk more about team situations because I touched on the Terrapins earlier. Let's talk more about team situations and team leaders going into this next season, going into this playoff push. We'll start with who I have first, the Serpents. The Serpents have really had an up and down roster this year. It's not the most consistent all year. So in that, Luis Gutierrez is the team leader because he's been there. And he's their captain, so that makes sense. But second in that is Tristan Manny. Tristan Manny has been a vital piece to this Serpents team. And then pairing him with Caden Jewell has proved to be fantastic for the Serpents in that win against the Hydras. But I bet you're saying, wait, what happened to Cole Rekor? Cole Rekor did retire midway through the season, and he got replaced by Noah Trombley, who us in the league have figured out Noah Trombley's really, really good. We just gotta communicate to him when a game is, Luis, because he will propel their team forward. And then their rookie, their number 1 overall pick, has not played a game yet, and it's like, okay, we're getting down to it. You might want to play a game before you get thrust into the playoffs and haven't played a game all regular season. So that's the situation the Serpents are in right now. And it's not going to get better if these communications don't get figured out. Next up is my purple marker. So we're going to talk about the Hydras. Honestly, the most consistent player for the Hydras has been Jace Rouchet. He has been to almost every game. And when he's played like how we expected him to. All right. He's rookie, and he's the youngest player in the BUFL history. A small history, but he is. Which makes him at a disadvantage, but he's proven time and time again that he can make catches and he can score. It's just a matter of, can you get him there? So that's just the one downside to Jace. But he's really been there every game. Fish not making that last game actually made him the most reportingest Hydra. Second to him would be Fish, the captain and honestly one of the better defensive players in the league. But defense can only win championships if an offense can score. And that's the problem with the Hydras. They don't have a really good scoring offense. So really, to propel them in these playoffs, they have to score points, and they have to do it fast. If they lose to the Serpents, they have to face the Terrapins at full strength, and really, they need to score, because last time they faced the Terrapins at full strength, granted the Hydras weren't at full strength, but in my opinion, they had a better player in Zach Zeisloft. They lost 15-0. Can the Hydras perform? That's the question. I'm not done with them. That was only Fish. Third best player and probably one of the better players on the team is Logan Dearborn. The only reason he's third is because he missed a few crucial games in the early beginning of the season, but he has proven to be a cornerstone to the teams, all right? And it's very beneficial to have him for the Hydras to win games. All right, now. Last player is not the last player. Oh my gosh, I forgot there's 5 players. Next player is Isaiah Standifer. Isaiah Standifer, Mr. Irrelevant, or Mr. Relevant. I like that nickname. He's there when he's there, and he's a good defensive asset to a team that's really big on defense. But the offense is just not there. That's really all I got to say about Isaiah. Love you, bro. Next for the Hydras, and this is the last player, Jose Susano Trujano. He's made 1 game, but when he played like a rookie. He played how we expected him to. Oops, I dropped my marker. And he performed. That's all you can ask for a rookie in his first start. I hope to see him in these next coming weeks for the playoffs and this final game in the regular season, because I think the Hydras need him. And without him, I don't know if the Hydras can score a lot of points. Speaking of a team that can score a lot of points, the Terrapins. Oh boy, where do I start? All right, I'll start with their captain. He might have missed a game, and that's why they lost, but let me look you in the eyes and tell you he is one of their best players. Without a doubt. He can score, he can do defense. He's just... And then he's willing to sub for other teams, too. Like, he's played with most teams. And it's like, can he put his team together? Can he bring his team out to a game and just dominate like they did a couple weeks ago against the Hydras? Put up 15 points and didn't allow a single point. And that was with their full team. That was insane. The Hydras couldn't do anything. And it's like, okay, let's see what you can do. You have 2 losses on the season now. You lost to the Arrows when it was a 3v3 and you had pretty much your cornerstone players. Yourself, Gunner, Kobe, and Abrams. You lost to the Arrows. You were winning that game. You were winning that game and you lost that game. Can you turn it around and perform again? This is kind of what happened with the Hydras game. You were winning. And then you lost. Can you pick it up? Can you turn it around? That's the number 1 question for Gunner Patno and the Terrapins. Their next player, Kobe Tatro. Kobe Tatro, offense. That's all he is, offense. Defense, he's got defense. Unlike the Hydras. He's offense. He is that offensive cornerstone that the Hydras would love to have. But they don't. The Terrapins do. The Terrapins have 2 of them. And, in my opinion, they've got 3. But that's really all I gotta say about Kobe Tatro. He's been a phenomenal player for the Terrapins. And when he left that game the other day, it really sent the game downward spiral. My next player, an impact player, Nathan Abrams. This is just because he's one of those cornerstones. He is the opposite of Kobe. If Kobe is offense, Abrams is defense. That is the name of his game. Defense. And that's kind of what led to their fall against the Hydras when it became that 2v2. They didn't have an offense anymore. They only had a defense. And that's what really, like, shook the table there. But otherwise, Abrams is that good defensive standpoint. He's very great defensively. And I dropped my marker. Shoot. And it's very, like, yes, you want him to be your defense. Because he's there. He's there. He makes plays. Granted, he's not the offensive making plays, but he's a defense making plays. And that's what's good. All right. Next up, my fourth impact player, who could arguably be third, second, and maybe first. Tito. Tito is the mix of Kobe and Abrams. You take what they're good at, you mix them together, and you give them athleticism. Granted, he's not the most offensive. He's decent offensively, and he's decent defensively. That's what's good about him. He's well-rounded. Nothing more that I can say. He's well-rounded. Final player is Escher Hoffman. Escher is one of those offensive guys. But he's had limited action all year. Can he perform when the Terrapins need him? Can he show up when the Terrapins need him? And that's really what could swing the tides if the Terrapins end up making it to the championship game against the Arrows. Finally, my Arrows, in which I think is the only team that has had all 5 players play, besides the Hydras. And the never mind, forget what I just said. That was stupid. But they're the one team that has performed above all expectations. In the beginning of the season, I thought it was going to be a really tight race where it was going to be close games between the Serpents and Terrapins. And if you look at the scores, yeah, they kind of were. But the Arrows managed to come out with the win. That worries me a little bit. That makes me think of the Denver Broncos. They had like 1-score games, and then their star player got hurt. Don't hurt me. I'm kidding. I'm not the Arrow star player. That's Maxwell Underwood. But moving on, we're going to start with the number 1 impact player for the Arrows, because I want to get myself out of the way. That is me. I am the number 1 impact player for the Arrows because I'm our offensive centerpiece. I'm our defensive centerpiece. I make plays, and I'm kind of a second captain. Like, me and Max talk all the time about strategy and game planning, and we execute on the field. Granted, we might be down by a couple scores, 6-2, but we come back to win 9-8 or whatever. So, my question is, what can I do to stop the offensive players? Because I'm great offensively. When it comes defensively, I don't have as much as I want. That's how I view it. I can cover very well. I can bait passes, but if you get a step in front of me, I'm not going to catch the Frisbee. I'm not going to stop the Frisbee from being caught. But I am going to make you feel it. You're going to feel some pain. But yeah, that's just me. I'll move on to the rest of the Arrows. Max is number 2. Offense. He's the offense to my defense. He's the defense to my offense. We are a great duo. It's very hard to stop a deep ball to Max. Very hard to stop a deep ball from Max to me. So, in that way, that's kind of the story behind the Arrows. Those 2 players, can they propel their team to an eventual championship and win that for their team? Who's to say? But Max, the only thing Max struggles with is if he doesn't have a sub, He's going to get tired fast. Next player. I'm sorry to our OG, but you made a couple games this season, so let's get made more. Is our rookie, Gareth Patnode. Gareth Patnode has just been what Gunner is, but slightly worse. Rookie Gunner Patnode. That's what you expected. That's all I'm going to say. If you want to check what I said about Gunner Patnode, go back to the Gunner Patnode section. Zach Seidloff. Yeah, he's our fourth player. He's been great for us for the past 2 seasons, and sadly he's graduating after this. He did graduate. He's leaving us after the season due to graduation and moving to a different state and place. Same thing with Caden Jewell. Caden Jewell is also leaving us. We love you both in the league, and we hope you the best of luck in the future. Manny did also graduate. Congratulations to him, but he's staying here at home in Plattsburgh, going to Plattsburgh State. So he's gonna be with us for a little while longer. But yes, Zach Seidloff has been just a cornerstone. Think of what I said about Tito, but more Zachy. And that way, I mean, like, he's smart. He's very careful with what he does, and he's very motivational. In our comeback, all we were saying to each other was, we all we got, we all we need. 28-3. Basically all we said. And that kind of propelled us forward. And the last impact player, sorry that you're the last impact player, but you played 1 game. But when you played that game, you were phenomenal. It's Corey Johnson, oh my God. Do you want a defensive masterclass? Watch his game. You can't, but if you watched his game against the Serpents, oh my gosh, he was all over the field defensively and getting screwed. But he was all over the field defensively, and I can't stress this enough that he was such a good defensive player. And that's really all there is to say about him, because I've only seen 1 game from him. But otherwise, that's my little preview going in. We're going to do a quick power rankings, and my reasoning is going to be much shorter. So, coming in last place as of right now, it's hard to rate this, but I put the Serpents at 4th, just because their only win on the season was against the Hydras, and the Hydras aren't very good. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, why didn't you put the Hydras there? I'll get to that in a moment. But you put the Serpents here because are they going to be able to win that playoff game? Who knows? The Hydras are my 3rd team. Them, on the other hand, they just beat the Terrapins. Granted, it was 2v2 in the 4th quarter, but still, it was a much better performance from a team that has been shoved in the ground. At times they were chippy, but when they were chippy, they brought it together, if that makes sense. So that's why they're my 3rd team, because I think they do have a legitimate chance to win a playoff game. But my 3rd team, 2nd overall, is the Terrapins. I think the Terrapins are just dominant offensively. It was always going to be between these two in the power rankings from the beginning of the season. Before the draft, I had the Terrapins 1st and the Hydras, or the Arrows 2nd, and then it was Arrows, Terrapins, Hydras, or Terrapins, Arrows, Terrapins, Arrows, Arrows, Terrapins. It's back and forth. They have lost 2 games, and that's why they're solidified at 2. My last team is the Arrows. When you're undefeated, No one has beaten you. You're staying first. But yeah, that's my little news session. So I hope you enjoyed. 25 minutes, jeez, crimers, you're gonna have to sit through all of that just to hear me yap and throw some pictures in there. But if you want, I have Frisbee cards for $1. Just hit me up and then I'll print a pack because I have no printer ink. So that's a problem. But they're for $1, you get 3 cards per pack. If there's anything else, hit me up. News is coming at you on the BUFL website and also the YouTube channel nowadays. I'm gonna have different things going on soon, like the playoffs. I think we're gonna film the playoffs. We're gonna also do the what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, the draft will be coming up. Some new reveal videos. I won't say what those are yet, but oh, my neck. But there's been hints throughout the video, so if you ever find those hints, leave a comment. I won't tell you if you're right or not. But till then, BUFL fans, friends, family, players, I don't have an outro. Bye-bye.